Good morning, everybody. How y'all doing? It's 7:51. That means the NISD school bus is going to be here at any moment in time. So, so yeah, I think I'm just gonna wait here for a little bit. Benjo's ready to go. You gotta wait, Benjo. Good puppy. Good puppy. Anyway, um, how's it going? It's December 5th, 2024, and exactly 1 week till December 12th, which is Frank Sinatra's birthday. One. And two, me, my mom, my sister Tracy, and my sister Kimmy are gonna go to the Botanical Gardens, San Antonio Botanical Gardens, also known as Sabbath, winter Trail of Lights. That's our scheduled time. My mom didn't really talk to me about the pricing. I think last year when they had the Christmas Trail of Lights, specifically Christmas, you had to pay for parking, which is a relatively new thing that the Botanical Gardens is doing. They don't have a super big parking lot, but they do have a parking lot. So there might be ways to get around that. That one street, my mom, every time we go down it and we drive to the San Antonio Botanical Gardens, my mom says she wanted to buy a house on that street, but they're too expensive. I think it's Funston and Broadway. It's like right in the middle of kind of a hustle and bustle downtown. They're just ready to go. 1 second. Banjo is not waiting for that school bus. You could probably hear it now. You see him? He's ready to go on his walk. Anyway, so yeah, what was I saying? My mom wanted to have a house over on that street that leads up to the Botanical Gardens. A little squirrel over there. She said the houses were too expensive though, and she continues to say that. That's what was the issue. It's kind of in the Alamo Heights district area. Okay, school bus back. Now it's time to go. Let's go, Benjo. If you're wondering the exact time, it is 7:55 a.m. And I think now is probably a good time to say that there's been a school bus, not before January 2021, but after, has this specific route. When I think there was other people in the Penguin Truck House. I'm just guessing though, I mean. Okay. But yeah, I think now's a good time to say that before January 2021, this has not been an existing NISD school bus route or public charter school route. This area. I'm pointing right here because you might know this box. They replaced it, but you might know it. And it wasn't until January of 2024 where the NISD school bus website they have the NISD has a website specifically for bus routes. So you can look up an address, you can look up a zip code, and you can learn everything there is to learn about elementary, middle, and high school bus routes for that area that you have entered in. So it wasn't until January 2024 where there has been an official designation for this route to be an NISD school bus route. Which also happens to be the year where there's been upgrades and additional magnet schools for Colonies North Elementary and Hobby Middle School, which are both NISD schools. As far as the magnet school, I don't know. I guess technically it's NISD since it's literally on the same campus as Hobby. So I just think that it's probably a good time to say that. Anyway, so I was talking about the house that my mom would have lived in if she could have afforded it, but on her teacher salary and stuff like that. Maybe she still had some insurance money from when my dad passed in 2012. Acute myeloid leukemia is what he passed away from, I think during the second or third round of chemotherapy. Oh, you may have noticed that I don't have my ring on. I'm just letting my finger air out. So I have a permanent kind of indenture. Don't forget, it's on both sides at the same time. When it rains, it pours. Okay? So they're both in this street. They're probably just meeting up on this NISD school bus route. But yeah, if you notice I don't have my ring on, I'm just letting my finger breathe for a little bit this morning. I have a little indenture on my finger, so I plan on getting a new ring. That's my plan. So, what was I saying again? Oh, yeah. Okay, so the San Antonio Botanical Gardens, they're charging for parking now, not every day, which is unlike SAMA. I think if you go to the San Antonio Museum of Art, if you're a member, they won't charge you for parking. But if you just happen to be visiting, whether you're a tourist or whether you're not a member and you just want to visit, they charge for parking now, which again is relatively new. And if you're a member, they get your license plate. It's corresponding with the vehicle as the membership there. So as far as if there's like a person who happens to be driving multiple vehicles as a member, I'm sure they'll work that out for you. The front desk. There are some people at the front desk that I remember that were quite pleasant. Anyway, so San Antonio Botanical Gardens, they do not charge for parking, whether you're a member or not. However, for this special event, which I think the past 2 years used to be, oh, they're not turning down Warriors Creek. It's odd. That's usually where I see that car. So anyway, yeah, they usually don't pay for parking or charge for parking, but for this special Christmas lights, which this year is not Christmas. They explained it's not Christmas, it's just lights, which I've been there. It's nice. Banjo, let's go. Oh, we got this Kamala supporter over here. She's late today. Oh, 801, I guess maybe not. She's the new German Shepherd. So, I mean, you would think an NISD school bus route is probably one of the safer walking routes to take. It would probably be the assumption that I should assume she has. Anyway, nice neighbors over there. One second. Visualizer. Anyway, so a roundabout. What I'm taking a little bit too long to say is for these special events, lighting events for the San Antonio Botanical Gardens, they're charging for parking, and I was looking at the comments on Instagram, and I saw several comments that said it would have been great to go see it. As far as like the ticket price and all that, I'm not sure what the ticket price is. But even if you're a member, you have to pay a ticket for the ticket to go to this Christmas lights or winter lights annual event that the San Antonio Botanical Gardens now has. And I'm just wondering, I think that it's what I guess I'm just wondering what the finances are on that. Is the parking helping to pay for this winter lights, Christmas lights, hosted by the San Antonio Botanical Gardens? Because they went all out this year. I'm not sure what the parking price was last year and this year and all that stuff. I should probably look into it. But they really went all out. It's very intricate. I mean, it's nice. My mom and I visited there when we dropped Gypsy off at SNPSA to get fixed. And excuse me. And it's supposed to be for night, but even during the day, it looks nice. I don't think there's one part of the botanical gardens where there's not something to look at. They're just additional light fixtures is what it is. And so like I said, it looks great. There's really nothing to complain about other than the pricing. I don't know where you're from, but San Antonio kind of has a certain vibe. Okay, the vibe isn't all out all the time. And if the higher the price, that's okay. That's not really the vibe here in San Antonio. So I guess what I'm saying is I think it would be a sad situation that more people go and then they pay for parking, they pay for the ticket, and then that's for to have things be all out. So there's a Texas Selfie Museum, there's hopscotch, and I'm just like, well, I don't want to pay for parking and for that price to get in. Some things, it just seems to me to be like, oh no, Jenna. There are the people that I saw in the February freeze of 2021. So not a nice neighbor. Okay, would be my description of that situation. Which again, the Texas National Guard, I know it's a big issue about the razor wire right now, but it was 2 weeks during the freeze in this NISD school bus route. Coldest it's ever been, and no National Guard, no nothing. So, but they can put a razor wire. I think a court in New Orleans decided that. If I read that article right, it might have been a Texas Tribune article. But anyway, there are some things. San Antonio has a certain vibe, is what I'm saying, and there are some things where it's, um, you know, uh, the Selena Museum is a $10 flat rate, which is nice. The aquarium in Corpus Christi, also known as Texas State Aquarium, is more pricey. The San Antonio Aquarium is less expensive to get into. Um, so I'm just wondering about all the finances and stuff like that. So, well, I think maybe you don't necessarily, to bring it back to the San Antonio Botanical Gardens, is that I think maybe you don't have to necessarily go all out. They went all out for these winter lights, and like I said, it's nice. I don't think I have one complaint about it, except this one that I have right now. I'm describing to you. Oh, and side note, it's one of those things where it's like, well, I'll explain. Let me just finish this, okay? Let's go, Benjo. And so I'm just wondering, like, this is the good thing about San Antonio, and the lifestyle, and I guess cost of living. We can go ahead and bring prices of homes and apartments and stuff like that, because they're building a lot of apartments close to the Riverwalk, and that's what my mom says. She says she would have loved to live on the street, Funston Street, I think, or maybe the Funston Street is perpendicular to the street she wants to live on, but it's connected to Broadway and the Botanical Gardens, and she said she couldn't afford it. So, take that for what you will. I mean, obviously, I don't know how expensive a Jetta is. My mom has a Hyundai Tucson. Anyway, should I count the car payments again? Just kidding. But yeah, what I'm getting at is San Antonio has a certain vibe, and if it's at the cost of locals, aka residents. I mean, I know you can say residents are not locals, but whatever. Excuse me. I didn't have anywhere to put my coffee. I think it's not a good thing. Going in the wrong direction, where people can't enjoy in those holiday festivities, winter celebrations, especially when they live in the city and stuff like that. Yeah, I don't know where you're from, but this parking situation is like kind of a big deal. And this, yeah, I just think if the prices, the finances are such where maybe you can just be creative on a lower budget, as to include more locals and residents in San Antonio. I think on the website, I checked like a year ago or so, there's a website that says median income for all different areas in San Antonio. I mean, it's all on a website. All those, all that data is right there already filed and collected. All you have to do is just look it up. And as far as sustainability and long term, I think that's probably the best way to go. They have a convention center at the Botanical Gardens, which is relatively new, something my mom and I discussed yesterday. It used to be the entrance, but now it's a convention center, basically. One second. So, yeah, I guess what I'm saying is San Antonio has always been, I guess, an inclusive environment, in the sense that there's been, respect for people no matter what their income is. And so for stuff like that, I would just hate for it to be the price you pay for a little bit more opulence, a little bit more uh, pizzazz, is for people to not be able to go. Um, and take that for what you will. Extend that to, I guess, different categories other than the San Antonio Botanical Gardens Christmas winter thing. So yeah, the Botanical Gardens, they got a little convention center there. I think they still have the restaurant there, I'm not sure. But what used to be the entrance is, there's a different entrance. So, I think the Betty Kelso Center is what it's called. Which to me, I think seems a little bit more appropriate place to have a convention center. Well, look at all these plants and flowers. What a place to host a party or gathering or whatever. And as far as yeah, I think it's a lot more appropriate than the zoo. Anyway, I talked about that a little bit longer than I had planned to. I had some other stuff to talk about. Oh, as far as things getting better, compared to 2021 and 2022, things are getting so much better. It's still things I have to navigate and stuff like that, and I don't want to complain because I'm not a complainer, but I am a fighter, so I'll just leave it at that. But overall, things have been going well. I think today has probably been the busiest time this route, Banjo's Walk and I. We've done some walks where not one car has driven by. So that was nice. Yesterday it rained, so we had to walk a little bit later. And so yeah, and as far as all that goes, things in my home, it's been a lot better. There is still a little give and take, but for the most part, if there was a sort of a hill, we've gotten past the top, the peak, and now we're going down the hill. It kind of seems like so. Every day I hope I get to see my husband. That'd be the greatest Christmas gift I have ever gotten. And I feel comfortable speaking for my family when I say that. Keep in mind, nothing ever explicitly has been said about any of that. I talk about my hat. Oh no, you're Trump hat. There's still those little comments out there like that, but for the most part, it's just a ridiculous type of situation to be in. And so I'm hoping, every day for things not to be like this. For me, and obviously there's a bigger cause and greater cause and all of that. Hefty goals and all that. It's been a tumultuous 4 years, and I'm glad I can say I'm a stronger person because of it, which I'm sure probably not everybody who's been involved in these past 4 years can say. I'm looking at you, knowing. But I was thinking, I was like, oh my god, if they're they're gonna do this past Christmas, past New Year's, past January 20th. You know, it's devastating. But I was just thinking, I was like, you know what? I might as well, like, it's been 4 years. So as far as uh, the newness and freshness of trauma, um, it's different, right? The time has passed, and things have healed, and and not in the best of situations. So I think that's very promising. um, I was just thinking, like, they're gonna keep me here, they're gonna keep us here on this NISD school bus route past January 20th of 2025. So I might work at the zoo or something. So I might work, I might apply, because obviously there's always the chance I might not get hired, especially at the zoo. So are you giving attention to animals? Okay, you've given attention to animals, now you have to give attention to a person who's not your husband. That's how they're like. That's what I've learned. So they're gonna keep me from having not one paycheck, so not one YouTube check, not nothing, till after January 20th, 2025, so Jimmy Dore can go on tour. Jimmy Dore's collecting his paycheck, going on tour as a progressive, defending Tucker Carlson. Other than that, I don't know what else he's known for. That information is kept from me. So not only is earned income kept from me, a lot of other information is kept from me as well. So this is what the situation's going to be like past January 20th, 2025. Well, maybe I might get out the house every once in a while. I might apply at the zoo. There's some places I'm not going to apply at, like at a restaurant or something like that. Probably not, no. But, if it's something like the zoo, or, something else I can think of, maybe a nonprofit where I don't interact with a lot of people. It might not be the worst way to spend my time. And as far as my safety, I have a lot less concerns about that, for a multitude of reasons, but I'll just say that general statement there. But I'm just saying, I hope that, I can live in reality any which way you look at it, right? Because every time I step out of this, somebody else gets to choose that reality, right? So I go somewhere and just random people. So I don't have random neighbors. I think we've gone past that. My opinion. But convention center, 10 million at the sale. So anyway, I'm hoping it's not still like this. But I know predators are gonna try and keep things like this, because what else do they have to live for? What else, other motivations do they have? So it will absolutely be devastating if worse comes to worse, and things are still like this January 20th, 2025. But like I said, I'm not changing my mind. That's not how it works. Me and my husband are soulmates, and we plan to have a life together. So, and as far as not getting a paycheck, not getting a paycheck, no business discussion, no nothing. Said, you want to talk about 45, 47 all you want. If you take that out of the equation, it still doesn't make any sense. Not one interview, nothing. And as far as all this AI, I'm sure that certainly hasn't helped situation any. But like I said, they're predators. Who would do that? So I've been going to the zoo. There's kind of an established kind of thing there. So, if it's still like this January 20th, like I said, I hope it's not. But people want to have their opportunity to harass me and let me know that I'm not a public figure and celebrity, which obviously is a control type situation, relationship going on there. It was extremely frustrating and triggering in 2021, but it's been 4 years now. So if they're still like this, I might apply to the zoo. So if I'm here January 21st, 2025, so I'm just gonna send on my resume. The last place I worked at was Studio 8. Saying if it's on a volunteer basis, I guess that'll be fine too. So yeah, I'm hoping I get the greatest Christmas present in the entire world. But if not, which I know my husband is doing everything that he can to make sure things are not like this. I'm just letting y'all know. I think I might apply at the zoo either for it might be volunteer because my resume is terrible. Oh my god. It's a sign to be happy today. Anyway, absolutely ridiculous. But I'm just letting y'all know that I've been thinking. I have all my art. It probably just be a part-time thing. We're gonna have to juggle Tracy's part-time Michael schedule and my part-time, maybe volunteer at the zoo. Or somewhere else where there's this kind of safety established kind of thing going on. Definitely not at a restaurant or anything like that. Probably not retail. So, because apparently those are my. You can just ask Jimmy Dore. I know he was looking for a new assistant for a while there. So anyway, he's going on tour. He's got till April of 2025 planned. So Nancy Mace is ready to get to work. So, yeah, I'm hoping I'm gonna have the best Christmas ever. But like I said, we have those tickets for the 12th, which is in 1 week. Exactly 1 week from today. And I'm just mentally preparing us, dealing with the devastation of being in this situation, which doesn't make sense any which way you look at it. I might volunteer at the zoo or something. After January 20th, I got all my paintings. So, I have some for certain people, but the rest, I would sell. Obviously not in that situation, right? Even though my sister works for the arts department of the city of San Antonio. That's weird, right? Not weird, ridiculous. So anyway, I look forward to the day I get interviewed, and I hope it's a joint interview with me and my husband. That would be the ideal. I can't wait for people to see us together. But apparently, I'm only allowed to be seen in a certain way. Maybe that has to deal with AI, maybe that doesn't. But I don't like to use that term for that kind of stuff. If it's that kind of stuff, I would say it's a computer generated image, not artificial intelligence. So, yeah, that's where we're at today. Today's Thursday. I'm going to go over to Kimmy's. Tracy goes to work some point in time today. I'm going to drop her off, then hang out over at Kimmy's. So my mom, hopefully she's going to have a nice, pleasant day here. I'm going to go over to Kimmy's. I expect to be bothered just a little bit. It's been getting better. And then pick Tracy up from Michael's and be here. That's my day today. So anyway, thanks for listening. Kind of a long video. You know, I'm just rather chatty. I can't wait to chat with y'all and not somebody who I feel is maybe purposely put next to me. While my mom and two sisters don't know I'm a public figure and a celebrity, don't tell me as much because of the money issue, would be my first guess. Anyway, situation preparedness discussions I have with y'all, and y'all talk amongst yourselves. Anyway, MAGA, go Trump. I'm forever hopeful for the best Christmas ever. I say forever hopeful because that's how much I feel about it. I know it's like less than a month away. But I'm forever hopeful that I'm going to have the greatest Christmas ever, okay? And not having to be surrounded by predators. A predatory environment. But I'll talk to y'all later. Y'all have a good one. I plan on having a good day. I've been meaning to say things have been looking up for the most part compared to 2021, 2022. And compared to right now, things have gotten a lot better, especially recently. So, I mean, there's still this element of, oh, you're going to have a Christmas party with your family? Well, Joanne's going to have a Christmas party with your mom. When was that not the case, huh? When it wasn't a predatory environment? You got to have that predatory environment element somewhere in there, huh? My best guess. Y'all have a good one. Happy Thursday.